Saturday night and I ain't got nobody.
So I'll play with my cock and let my semen spray.
It's nothing sacred for the 26th of November.
Fuck yeah, bitches. Hey, hey, hey.
That was lame as fuck. The
Yeah.
Nothing Sacred show for the 26th. Is it 26th? Yeah, 26th of November, 2016. I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And just a little bum out mode here, just to start out. You ever find out some news? It's just not completely devastating news, but kind of fucked up news.
Yeah, it kind of puts a damper on shit.
Found out that my buddy's favorite dog, been had for like 14, 15 years, something like that, at least 12. They had to put her down today. So
Shit.
So just found out literally right before this shit started.
Man.
So yeah, so it kind of got me bummed out, but I'm not bummed out in like a crazy. It just kind of makes you just feel soft. I mean, life is just, you don't realize. I'm not gonna go. You don't realize how death is.
Right.
But I just want to just kind of like when things hit you, like I'm still processing this. So during this show, I'm processing this right now.
Right.
And I'm processing
right.
it, and this is the interesting thing. On a Saturday night, we're doing our show first of all.
And we're sober.
And we're sober.
Man.
And we're sober. And we're both not drinking on a Saturday night. And now, for you, it's kind of a similar. It's kind of like, okay, you're going through your weekend. For me, it's my Friday because on the Friday night. See, for me, it's always been harder on the Friday night. Like the next night, you can kind of, I'm just chilling this weekend.
But on for me, it was always Saturdays. It was kind of like synonymous. Saturdays and cops and all that type of shit.
And you decided not to. And we were thinking about it today because I actually texted you and said, hey, you having a brew tonight? And you said no. And I go, me either. And you go, we're surfing the Save Wave link. And I just want to say that you're a fucking idiot, dude. It's not fucking wave link. It's wave
here we go.
length.
Condescending.
It's wave length. LENGHGTH.
Thank you condescending motherfucker.
And it's not surfing like SERFING. It's surfing like surfing
dude.
on a fucking wave SUR. What are we fucking like indentured servants in the Middle Ages? No. It's surfing the same wave length. Like a fucking wave
There's
of
that
light.
Cruise sensation, dude. That's
Actually,
you motherfuckers, man, you guys do get condescending.
Wait. No. See, you're getting all crazy, but I'm actually kind of pressing a button simply because of what you posted earlier.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going, man.
So
we're surfing the same wavelength, remember?
Yeah, exactly. So I had to fuck with you about that.
Well, actually, before we get into that, though, I just want to say, James, this is kind of interesting because everything's kind of coming together here. James, shout out to James, who also just lost his aunt, man, like past week or so.
My condolences. So
I guess she was pretty sick, man. So sorry to hear that, dude, because I guess she raised him, and she was a big part of his life.
Yeah, and it's and I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was coming today. Basically, I went over there for Thanksgiving to hang out, and she was throwing up her food.
Oh fuck!
So basically, she couldn't eat. She was doing it constantly, like she couldn't eat anything or even hold down water.
So did you see it coming, man?
Yeah. Oh, she's old. She's old dog. So, but he saw it coming. But you see something coming, and 2 days later it happens. I mean, I know from experience. I knew my dad was going to go. I'm sure James may have known his aunt was going to go.
You didn't think that day, huh?
But that day, you don't really know when to think. When it happens, it doesn't really matter. It's still gonna fucking knock you in the dick,
Yeah. Well, even like when I had to put ticket down.
Yeah, you knew a couple weeks before, right? Or a couple days before, right?
Yeah, I did. I was like, well, we're going to take her on Friday, and we're going to put her down. But you're right. Until you're there
and doing it, it's not the same thing. It's like, well, I'm doing this, and then it happens, and then that thing's not there in your life. And especially right now, it's just a tough thing. I'm going to give my bro a call later on and talk to him a bit because he's been there for a while too. When you see it every day, he's fed her when she was on trips. Obviously, he's been there all the time. Just just 5 years. So I'm gonna give him a call back and chat with him a bit. But yeah, but it's gonna sound terrible, but it's sobering. It's very sobering, and I think we both had a top. Before we go on any further, I think we both had something on that. I know you said you did.
And my thing was just when I was finishing up with James is he just sent me an message last night on Facebook and said, hey, I listened to your Marathon Nothing Sacred show. That was great. Your stuff ages well. Real good stuff. And I'm like, Marathon show? And I'm like, oh, our cheap beer Saturday night show. And that one was done right about this time, I believe, dude.
Cheap beer. Oh, we had a long ass show. That it was a long one. Wasn't
Remember, we did some improv too, and we did some. It was like a long, almost 2-3 hour show.
Wow, really? I never.
You forgot about that one.
Well, I remember it. I remember doing it, but I don't remember because I never watched this. I don't listen to my shit after we do this. I just kind of throw it on there, and if I out of curiosity, I may listen a couple years from now to some shit. But I don't really care about listening to this back. It's just a conversation for me. It's like listening to a phone call. You know what I'm saying? In a way.
Like, oh, gee, what are we talking about?
I just kind of throwing my shit out there, and I may at some point listen and go, oh, that's great because it's there. But. So that was like a tune. And what did he say about that? So what is that?
He just said it was. He goes, your stuff ages well, and he was like, real good stuff, man. So it was kind of funny that's the one he landed on, and it was our drunken cheap beer because we were all over the place. I mean, we were talking about all kinds of shit. I mean, it's been a while since I listened to that show. It was probably like last year when we did it. But remember, that's the one that got flagged because we got some music off YouTube. And
that's right. That's right. So yes, I remember that. That's the one. That was about a year. You're right. That was right when we first started. Probably about right now.
Yeah, about this time.
Probably similar. Maybe in December, a little later. But yeah, probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no. You know what? I think you're right because it was that dude Brian's birthday, and I was going to his party the next day. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think so. Yeah, so it was a little bit later, but still right around this time of year, this kind of bleak, kind of darker time of year. But I was just thinking about how, and I was thinking about this on Thanksgiving, because I got a little buzzed on Thanksgiving. I had to go to work the next day. I got a little buzzed.
Actually, you know what? Okay, and I will admit, I went to Toastmasters Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And I had like 2 beers there. You know what I'm saying? But nothing, just a little bit. Hey.
No, yeah, you're not. You get up the next day, and it's it's no big deal.
Oh, I was sober by the time.
Oh yeah, so no, and I was buzzed when I went to sleep, but I got a good night's sleep, and work was fine yesterday. And I didn't do anything last night or tonight, but it's just that habit, man. And it's interesting how, It's interesting how you have these expectations of what certain nights should be, like Thanksgiving. Oh, it's the holiday,
Right, drink, man.
Have a beer, come on. Like you, it's Saturday night. For me, it's like holidays and stuff like that. Like Thanksgiving, I'm gonna drink a ton of wine.
I did have when I went to my mom's Thursday. I did have 2 beers, but then I cut myself off. I was just like, oh, that's it. I'm done. So same thing Thursday night.
Then you just went home and you were fine, and maybe just mellow out for the rest of the night.
I was watching movies. Which, by the way, I got on this blindmysmart.com. That's something else I want to talk about later, too. And because they have descriptive videos.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to see, I hadn't been on there in a while, man. Not since I was with Koala way back in 2010. Mm-hmm. And they had some pretty dope movies on there back in the day. But, dude, I got on there this time, and I guess you have to register now to have access to the descriptive movies. So then I start going through them, dude. It's shit that nobody'd ever watch. I mean, it's all stuff for either kids or old people, man. It's like nothing, no real good movies anymore.
Well, the copywriters took it in there. They couldn't allow you to actually watch good movies, or they had to take them all away, so you had to pay for them or find another way to do it, of course.
I guess, dude.
There's probably a premium descriptive movie site now, and so that's probably the freebie one that no one goes to anymore.
Probably. So you're probably right, man, because even Vegas PBS, they were talking that shit up too. And they're like, yeah, we got all these descriptive movies and we just send them to you in the mail. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, let me see what you guys have. And she sent me the list, and dude, it was all, stupid things, what it's like having a pet,
Andy Griffith show.
Yeah. Yep. Shit like that. The rise and fall of fucking, the Nazi fucking regime or something.
Yeah. Fucking some dumbass fucking like
Grace Jones's bout with vaginal bleeding, things like that.
Exactly. So don't go there. So that's a non-butt plug for both.
That's a butt. What is that? That's a butt cork.
A butt cork.
so
yeah,
dude.
But it's just funny how the habits come in, and it's boredom too sometimes, man. You get bored, and you're like, hey, what do I want to do?
Drink.
Let's go have a beer, and then it becomes a habit, and you think, oh well, I gotta have a beer. But it's funny though. But it's funny that Saturday night we're just chilling, enjoying. I'm actually enjoying the night.
Yeah, I was just I ordered a pizza, and I was just eating pizza. Actually, I got 2, man. I got 2 large, the 2 large deal from Papa John's.
Oh, the 2 large for $8, right?
Yeah, daddy. And so it's 2 toppings, and you get to you power down, man. I mean, I still got plenty of pizza left.
Probably about a half a pizza at least left, probably, right?
A little more actually, because I remember it's 2 pizzas, and both of them have probably about still, 4 to 5 slices in each.
So actually, did you actually variety it up and get 2 different things on each pizza?
I did, dude.
Whoa.
I got pepperoni mushroom on one, and I got sausage and green peppers on the other.
Wow. Fucking variety boy. Awesome, man.
Isn't that cool?
Did you get them with different sauces or just the regular sauce?
Nah, man, I just did the regular shit. I didn't know you...
Barbecue.
See, that's too much for me. I'm going to have Bloopa Doopa sauce.
Fucking barbecue, man.
Dude,
barbecue.
Crust.
Onions and fucking and sausage with barbecue. Hell yeah.
Do they do that? Do they do it like that, or is that just Pizza Hut?
No, I got barbecue. I get barbecue sauce. That Papa John's barbecue is good. It's got a little spicy barbecue flavor to it. It's pretty good.
Oh, shit.
Try it out next time, man.
All right.
You fucking missed out on that, you dumbass. See, if you would have called me before.
Thought. Man,
so
you're just itching for me to go there, right?
To go where?
Well, at the whole condescending fucking.
Oh no, I don't want you to go there at all. Actually, I'm just being goofy. Actually,
okay.
I don't give a shit what you eat, man.
I am gonna go there.
I'm actually hungry. Cause I've been eating these fucking. So you are going to go there. So why don't we go there now, you fucking dumbass? You surf. Why don't you surf on my wavelength?
Well, dude, one thing that fucking. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you. Did I cut you off, dude?
Yes, you did. But that's okay.
Okay,
You do it all the time.
Go back to your point, and then I'll finish up.
Actually, no, you did. No, I don't have a point. You go ahead and go. I actually don't have a point. I'm just being a dick. So I'm trying to reinforce your point here. So what's
okay, my whole thing is like, online fucking spelling Nazis and shit.
I knew you were going.
Grammar Nazis. Yeah. Like, dude, it's Facebook. You just want to post your shit and get the fuck out of there, and nothing big. But some of these people, and then it's funny too, because when they correct it, when they write the correct word that I misspelled, all Jaws does is read it. I can't see it and go, oh, that's how it's spelled. Mm-hmm. The only way I'd know is if I actually use the arrow keys and go character by character to go, oh, is that how it's spelled? But otherwise, if it just says, if I say grammar.
If they were really condescending and put spaces between each letter, W space WORLD, spelled.
Actually, you know what? That might even be that would be helpful if they were doing that.
That's true, but they're too condescending to realize that because they're so. And usually, what it is, and when they do these grammar corrections, it's when you say something that pisses them off.
They're upset by it.
Right? Well, no, it's something that let's say you say, oh, fucking, I hate people that vote. The vote, fuck voting, and you spelled voting wrong or whatever, and that's because they're pissed off.
Something that goes against something they believe in.
So they're gonna nitpick your fucking spelling, and then those are the ones that you can kind of, those are annoying because they're trying to use something else against you to invalidate your argument when it has nothing to do with it.
Oh yeah.
And then of course there's the people that just do it just because they're trying to tell you, I'm sick of the bad grammar in the world. Well, dude.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of what I get, dude. Those people, they're like, well, grammar's important because you need to. Because for instance, I wrote a post about going to see Bad Santa with my mom.
Yeah.
And I said I drugged my mom to the movie theater. So. This one fucker writes on there,
I dragged
her, you didn't give her a drug or something like that or some stupid shit, And I was like, well, what the fuck ever? And then he was like, well, I'm just saying, bad grammar, it's important because then people know what you're talking about. And
how do you not know what the fuck he was talking about? What do you think, you drugged your mom at the fucking theater and fucked her in the seat while fucking Billy Bob Thornton was on screen? You just blew a load in your mom's drugged out face? The fuck you think you did? I drugged my mom at the Bad Santa. She didn't like that movie, but I sure did.
I didn't know what you would talk. I thought you meant Doug.
I love that goddamn movie, man. I didn't really watch most of it because I was fucking my drugged mom. What the hell do you think he meant? What the hell do you think he meant? You drug your mom. You took your mom. And to a movie or said, oh, come on, if you dragged, whatever, you dragged your mom, whatever the fuck.
I mean, drag doesn't even sound right to me.
Well, drug, see, whatever, it doesn't really matter. People understood what you meant, so him saying that, trying to use that excuse that you didn't, it makes him look like an idiot, basically.
Well, it was funny because then I wrote a follow-up post, and I said something about, Facebook Nazis with your grammar and spelling.
Yeah, and
it's not a term.
And you fucked up and said navies.
Oh, that was my video. Yeah, I saw that, and I meant to put Nazis.
It's funny, man. So you said about the Nazis, and the same person said something?
Oh, well, this is on my personal page when I said it's Facebook, not a term paper, so really. And then of course, he got, like you said, he got ass hurt and was like, "Well, it's important to use good grammar because otherwise people don't know what you're saying." And well, what happened was so then when I was checking him on it and I said, "Well, obviously," I said, "you had to check me publicly." So it made it look like, you weren't doing it just to help because you cared. You did it because you wanted to look good. So I said it was all for you is what it was.
Oh, shit.
And he was like, he goes, "Oh, listen, no offense taken, my good friend. I'm sorry. It was ignorance on my part." And, dude, this girl caught his ass and said, "Well, you spelled offense," and she corrected the way he spelled offense. And she's like, "So you just broke your own rule."
That's great. And two things about that. That's great. All right. The first thing is the obvious one where he spelled something wrong. And then pointed it out, which is that's the icing on the cake. But the first thing is this bitch ass passive aggressive fuckface, who if he really felt the way he felt, should just say, "Dude, I don't like bad grammar because I'm a fucking English teacher." Where the fuck he is, But you, of course, were trying to throw napalm on that bridge, man. You were like, "Fucking, hey, you're the one. You're doing it for you filthy prick. You're a goddamn egotistical cocksucker, and not spelled egotistical wrong just to spite your dumb ass, you cock-faced motherfucker." Yeah. Light that shit on fire thing,
Well, it did piss me off because it wasn't necessary. It's like, okay, dude, if you're really trying to help me, send me an inbox message or something and be like, "Hey, dude, just so you know, it's spelled this way." Although that would irritate me a little bit, but when you do it in front of everybody, it's kind of like, okay, asshole. Now you're just doing this to look good. Like,
yes.
"Oh, I'm combing Facebook for all the bad grammar and spelling. I caught this fucker."
It's a form of virtue signaling, basically. It's a form of, "Hey, I've caught you out. It's intellectual signaling, man."
Yeah, it's those people that ingest their own fecal matter.
It's like,
I love my own turds.
I'm going to mention this, and then of course him backtracking and saying, "I didn't mean to offend you." Like, what? Yeah. Why did you? Okay, first of all, why don't you stand up for your your beliefs? How about you just? And see, maybe he didn't want to go into a fight because you would have, because I would have been like, I would have been like, "Dude, I'm just doing what I'm doing. Go fuck yourself. Defriend." I would have like, "Fuck you."
Well, yeah, you're on my friends list here, and then all of a sudden, you want to start shit with me.
Well, no, I'm talking about just if I were him, in a way. Like, dude, who the fuck you are telling me? I was just pointing something out. You want to talk about psychoanalyze me saying I'm an egotistical dick. If he had any backbone, he would have maybe... Was he like, "You're right, I'm so sorry. I was doing..."
Well, he said, maybe it was just pure ignorance on my part, and I apologize. When I said
he's being condescending to you still. Fuck that guy. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. It's like, "Oh, well, I understand."
No, man, I'm just not going to argue with you. Yes, you're right. I understand. And everyone else who gets the joke, "He's such an ignorant fool with his bad grammar."
Just let him think that way.
And then this chick's like, "You spelled offense wrong." He's like, Did he reply to that?
Dude, he didn't respond shit. Nope. She totally called him on it, dude. It was hilarious. So... But the reason my spelling's bad, dude.
Yeah, it's because of Braille. We you talked about this before.
I explained that. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
Braille.
It's because of Braille, and it's because of the way Braille is printed out. And I think you explained it like a show or two ago about that. But the point is, it doesn't really fucking matter. It is Facebook. You're not trying to win a spelling bee there. No. You're just trying to bullshit. It's almost like a conversation. Well, you said in your conversation, dude. We're not in Toastmasters, fuckface. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
what is this fucking grammar class? You in an English class trying to run a term paper like you said? No, it's a fucking social media platform where you're typing shit out half the time, doing it on a phone or doing it on some fucking like the spur of the moment thought process. Where you're not going to go back and go, "Let me edit that. This is my third draft."
Yeah, or it's like you open a Microsoft Word document and type your fucking post and then spell check it
and then proofread and then paste it. Maybe I guarantee a ton of people do that, dude.
They do. That's why I get so much shit, because I've actually had people say, "Well, maybe you should spell check it before you post it." And I'm like,
fuck that, dude. I'm not taking that. I don't care about this that much to do that.
Yeah, okay? This isn't my life.
And for you to tell me to do that, and in the next sentence say, "Don't worry about what others think about you. Be yourself." Well, you're the one who's fucking grammatically correcting yourself to make yourself look good. You dumb fuck. If you didn't give a fuck, you wouldn't care. Now, I understand if you're writing a goddamn postmaster's
for work,
fucking
like a
speech or a proposal or something, or a memo or something at work professionally, that's different. But when you're writing on a fucking social media, you don't use fucking. It's a presentation thing. It's like these people are just people that say that show their shallowness and their fakeness basically, because they're trying to put on a front. Well, I have to spell check. Well, what if you don't know what the spelling of that is? It's kind of like a thing of yours, dude. You don't know what the spelling of shit is, so I will fuck with you about it. People can fuck with you about it, as long as because you knew that guy wasn't fucking with you about it. He was being
serious.
Like if I said something like, the Navy's, motherfucker, you'd be like, fuck you, whatever. I'd be fucking.
Well, yeah, and certain people, like, okay, Don's another one. He does it sometimes, but he does it like, oh, and corporate Jim would like it spelled correctly, and if I spell corporate wrong, so he does it just being Don because he's that type of dude.
See, I was gonna make a joke about the drug. I was gonna say you drugged your mom at a fucking bad Santa, because I was actually thinking about making a joke too, but I would have made it a joke, like, hey, you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it would be, just an fuck you.
But when someone gets all pompous
people, when
about
they
it,
self-righteous and they write. Yeah. Their comment is basically that word that I misspelled as their comment. It's grammar or something like that. Like, thank you, you fucking, master English professor, you.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking ridiculous, man. These pompous motherfuckers, who keep saying that shit, and like, it's kind of the same thing with this. This kind of brings to another thing about Facebook. If we can segue, I guess.
Sure, of course.
We're done with that one. Probably.
Oh yeah.
But
I said what I need
another
to say.
fucking Facebook thing. God, it's just getting so bad. This whole bipartisan shit. But I just have to bring this up about this post. Someone wrote a post today. This is the difference between Obama and Donald Trump in terms of presidential. Well, because Fidel Castro died today, right?
Okay, that's what it was.
Okay, Fidel Castro died. So Obama's post was this like long speech that someone wrote from about Fidel Castro. Blah, 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 blah. He's dead. I don't know I didn't really read it because it was so long. Trump wrote, "Fidel Castro is dead!" Exclamation point.
Okay.
Now think about what Fidel Castro is. He is a fucking tyrant, a deep despot who basically caused.
So is Obama.
My point is that like people are criticizing Trump for not being more eloquent about a fucking tyrant's death, who was literally caused hundreds of thousands of people to try to get to America and die in boats because they wanted to get the fuck out of there because it's so bad. Just a horrible fucking leader, a terrible tyrant, and they're mad. Well, Trump, he should have been more. No, he's great. Fidel Castro's dead. Yeah, and the people in Florida, dude,
like,
dancing in the streets. They're dancing in the streets because they lived under this motherfucker and had to deal with his fucking tyranny. Yeah. And then, oh, you didn't say Obama. So fuck that shit, man. He's a fucking horrible fucking tyrant. He's dead. Yay. Okay, good. He's dead. He's fucking great. Awesome. But no, he should have been more. This day is a sad day toward a man who imprisoned thousands and killed thousands of people under his rule and caused million people to die in the middle of the ocean trying to get away from his horrible rule. Oh, what a day! A moment of silence. Oh. Yeah.
Well, that's wow. Well, that's your typical bias bullshit.
Yeah, complete bullshit, and it's crazy because they love him because he's a socialist, so that's why Sean Penn and shit go over there and fucking, love his shit, But anyway, my point isn't really about that. It's just about how fucking. And the funny thing about it is, I guess my point about that is to bring it up. If Trump were to die,
yeah, how would they react then?
They'd be, fuck yeah, Trump's dead. Trump's fucking dead. And he hasn't done anything. He hasn't killed anybody. He hasn't fucking enslaved millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people and caused people to flee their own country. Yet, at least. Yeah, maybe he will, but he hasn't done it yet, and yet they'd want him to die even more. They'd be, well, he's justified. He said bad things about women sometime, about grabbing girls in the pussy. Yeah, he did that, but so you're saying show more tact and decorum toward Fidel Castro, who was a dictator for 50 years and caused misery for hundreds of thousands of people. It's comparable to a dude making a joke in a van when it was filmed about grabbing girls by the pussy. Yeah, that's the same fucking thing. It's worse, actually, because It's fucking madness, man. It's stupidity, dude.
Yeah, that's well, dude. That's the nature of the dumb shit, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's how the fuck they are. You know, everybody sore losers, man. That's all it is.
Sore losers.
Well, you know, like last term, you know, when Obama won a second term, you know, conservatives were pretty pissed off, but you know, wasn't shit they could do. These motherfuckers are protesting and having pride moments.
Vote recounts and shit in states that are being drawn up by people who are raising more money than they didn't. It's all a bunch of craziness, man.
Yeah, they're not doing the party. It's kind of like how religious people, you know, when they start pushing their beliefs and shit. You know, you're not doing your party or group any justice by pushing your bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
No, and then blaming everyone about, you know, being racist. That's just the 4 buzzwords: racist, homophobe, Islamophobe. And of course, is the new one, and you know,
xenophobe. Isn't it
xenophobe? There's 5 of them. There's xenophobic, misogynist, because it doesn't matter whether you hate men. I mean, you can hate men. Xenophobic, misogynist, homophobic, Islamophobic, and ableist, and
ableist. Wow.
And racist, of course.
What is xenophobe again? I forget.
That's like hatred of anything different than you, like any culture or type of person different than you.
Oh, okay. Oh, that sounds
just like them, doesn't it?
Kettle black there, buddy.
Yep, of course it does. But you know, what are you gonna do? Yeah, so it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. It's just funny that Facebook is like that. But I don't see, what else do I have this week?
I got an SMJ.
Oh, you have an SMJ? Let me see if I can magically deliciously pull this thing up.
Yeah,
get this fucking thing to work. Goddamn piece of shit.
Piece of fucking
Fuck
shit.
you. Shut up. I didn't ask you. God damn
you're
you.
A piece of shit. You know, you should get a new computer there, Cruise Control.
Oh, fuck, don't I wish I could. You think I wouldn't? I've had this one for fucking...
Yeah, right. You're like, yeah, you wouldn't even sit on that. You'd be like...
Dude, if I had the money to get a new computer, what do you think shit, man.
You're a Cyber Monday, man. Go get online and get a dope deal, man, on a computer. And shits is.
Get a dope deal, yeah. No, I don't have the money to get a dope deal on much anything right now. But here, let's do this.
Alright.
Hey. It's time for the SMJ report. All right.
So, here's what happened, man. I was getting picked up by paratransit at work. And so and this driver's a dumbass, dude. I've had him a bunch of times. I really don't like him. He's this fucker from Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this real high-pitched voice, you know. And it's funny because when I was doing the radio show, dude, the guy, he was one of those drivers that wouldn't shut the fuck up about the radio show the whole goddamn time, you know. So he remembers all that shit, you know, even remembered the name of the show, funny enough, you know. And he'd always say, so how's the STEM radio show? You know, never listened to it. But anyway... That's beside the point there, Money.
I think I've heard you talk about this fucker a lot before. Because you made complaints about some people talking about how's this show? Why don't you fucking listen? You'd find out.
Yep, and he'd never listened, and he just had a million questions. So what did the callers say? What kind of callers do you get? What kind of feedback? You know, it's like, nigga, get my dick out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So finally, he's walking around. Dude, he should have stayed on the bus, but instead he starts walking around, and I come out the other side, you know, by the stairs and shit. And he's on the opposite side. And he's like, oh, hold on, guy. I'll be right there. And I'm like, why did you even leave your bus? And he goes, oh, I was looking for you. I'm like, you'd never find me. I'm upstairs, and I'm inside an office building. You'd have never found me. So anyway, finally I get to the bus, dude. And I go up the steps, and then there's that fourth step, you know, the higher step.
The evil step, the one that every blind guy always trips over.
Oh, of course. Well, that wasn't the problem.
Okay.
They now... And I don't know why this guy, but you can now tie the wheelchairs down in the front of the bus, too, where the seats are. So you can fold a seat up and tie a wheelchair down right there.
That's probably because they have so many fucking wheelchairers now.
Probably so, so they have to make room for it. But this was the only wheelchair on the bus, funny enough. I don't know why he didn't just put it in the back. Because this guy, I guess, was able to get out of his wheelchair and walk to a seat once they tied the wheelchair down, you know?
Okay, gotcha.
So... Anyway, you know how on either side there's seats and shit like that. Well, I get up on the bus, and all of a sudden, dude, he starts freaking out. And he's like, well, why don't you come down here real quick? I got to do something. And I'm like, well, what do you need to do? And he's like, there's a tie down right there. You know, like one of the wheelchair tie downs. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Well, I'll just step over it. No big deal, because I thought he may have had a packed bus or something. He was, no, please, just come down here. He's like pleading with me, And so I'm like, okay. So I come down on the step, and he undoes the tie down. He's like, okay, go ahead and step up here. And I'm like, okay, where do you want me to sit? I thought it was like more towards the back. It was the seat behind the driver. So he didn't even have to fuck with that stupid tie down. I could have just sat behind the driver, and he could have just said, oh, there's a tie down there, but just go to the seat to the left or get to the right.
So when you sat down, did he untie it and then tie it before you sat down, or tie it back after you sat down?
After I sat down.
So after you sat, and you could hear where it was going, and it was definitely not in the seat that you were at.
No, the seat where I was at was to the left of that. If you're facing forward, so I could have totally missed that tie down, and just sat down in that
liability. Seat. Even if you would have tripped, you would have been going so fast and so assuredly that you would have flown over the fucking seat, cracked your
hit
fucking
the window in
bald
the back,
ass
right?
head against the fucking back of the chair or something, and then broke it open. Your bleeding eggshell fucking head is just laying there, and you're blind, going, "Oh, I'm blind, and I'm lying in a pool of my own blood. You bastard driver!"
You didn't undo the tie. Yeah, because dude, I totally wouldn't have even tripped over that tie down. All he would have had to say, sometimes these fuckers make it more difficult than it needs to be. So all he had to say is, "Hey, stay to your right and sit in the seat behind me."
Yeah,
you don't trip over the tie.
But that would have confused you.
Oh, you're right, because right and left, that doesn't compute with me. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny, but then again, man, here's the thing, dude. I hate to say this, man, but this guy's been driving for several years, right? So he's seen a bunch of blindos, and he's worked with a bunch of blindos. Maybe it's because he's trying to do that before.
Well,
somebody bit it, dude. Like some overconfident blindo, like, I'm a independent, I'm at the blinds club.
And fuck, dude, I guess you're right. I guess there are those blinkies with the fake self-confidence.
Or he's like, I'm an independent blindo from the blind center. Hey, Stacy, why don't you move to your right? Fuck you, driver.
Maybe.
I know where I'm going.
Well, and I think he got in trouble because he made some comment when we got to my house, and he said, "Can you just wait a few seconds? I just want to undo that tie down." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not even going to walk past. I'm not even going to contend with it." And he was like, "Yeah, but I want to undo it because if you do things, if there's something you do on camera and they see it, you could get in real trouble." So I bet you, dude, he probably got in trouble for some shit.
Maybe they have to fucking undo it because some goddamn regulations in place now where you have to undo that tie before somebody gets in the bus or some stupid shit.
I guess. Well, you know what, dude? This all could have been avoided had he put the wheelchair in the back of the bus, being that was the only wheelchair on the bus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's brilliant too.
Why even put that chair way the fuck up at the front if you don't need to?
Maybe I know exactly why. I'll tell you exactly why. Because they don't know how many wheelchairs they're going to have on during a ride, and if you put them in the back first, then the other wheelchair to get the wheelchair up to the front might be a pain in the ass if there's two in the back already or more in the back.
Well, that's it. He had nobody else on.
That's what I'm saying, though, because you have to put it. Maybe the new regulation rule is that you have to put the wheelchairs starting from front to back.
Oh,
because if you think about it, if there were multiple wheelchairs in the back, it'd be harder to maneuver that wheelchair to the front to put it in there. But if there's no wheelchairs in the back, you got to push that motherfucker up to the front, and then the other wheelchairs that come in, you move them in the back and go back from there. Does that make sense?
So you build from front to back.
Front to back so that you can get it up there easily, as you won't have to worry about fighting around other wheelchairs. Or if the other person has to get out, they have to get back in their chair and maneuver around other wheelchairs or some shit. It's all a pain in the ass. Whatever.
That's a good premise. I can see that, I guess.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's the reason. I'm not saying yes, this is why. I'm just saying I'm trying to figure out maybe there's some logic behind this shit.
Just speculation. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Like, okay, and it really would make sense if somebody explained that, you know.
And I'm not saying that it's not a sided McJesus, because it's the worry that you can hear in his voice.
Well, in the fact that I wasn't even going to contend with that tie down, had you just said, stay to your right and sit in the seat behind me, and you'll be okay. There's a tie down over there to your left. Then I wouldn't have even had to contend with it,
Exactly.
So I could have totally missed the tie down completely, and it just would have been out of the equation. had you given me the right directions and not fucking completely panicked. You know what I'm saying?
I think, like I said, I think that's definitely true. It's definitely on him because he's been a moron before, so that kind of goes with you. But he's probably seen a bunch of fucking blinkers who are just fucking super blinkers, like, who, go to my right, and they go the wrong way, and they run their knee into the fucking side of the wheelchair, and it gets a scrape, and it bleeds and infects, and they have to cut out their leg because they're blindos and don't shower. So the fucking shit at the, you know what I'm saying? Then they blame the I got the cut on the butt, and it's not their fault, because whatever.
Maybe so. Oh, by the way, speaking of blindos, just kind of a quick segue. So Steve and I did talk Monday. And that's all smoothed over about the phone thing. Well, you know what he said? Because I said, dude, you called me twice, man. He goes, oh, I was drinking then, so I don't remember what the fuck I did. And I was like, motherfucker.
And that kind of goes with the same thing you were saying. Like, man, that's a shitty excuse, man. It's not even an excuse.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I let him know, like, hey, dude, I was a little pissed because you were blowing my phone up. That's why I got an attitude with you. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking message, but he was buzzed out, so he's probably in that. Hey, I need to call.
Where the fuck is this motherfucker?
Let me call him again. I know he's there. He just texted me.
And then yesterday he texted me and he's like, "Hey, you working today?" And I'm like thinking, "Oh shit," So I said no, but I've got which I did. I said I have a chiropractor appointment. I just want to go in and get a quick fucking. What do you call it?
Alignment?
Adjustment. Yeah. Adjustment. Alignment, yeah.
I fucking need that. They probably look at my back and go, holy shit, dude, and they take a sledgehammer to that fucking thing.
Probably. Well, I got my mid-back wouldn't even pop yesterday. He had to do it like 3 times. He's like, oh, hold on. All right, sit up. All right. And then, he's like, now keep your chin tucked. Don't move your head. And then, so eventually he did get it to pop, but god damn, dude.
It feels good when it pops?
Finally, yeah, when it does finally pop, it's like, oh, yeah, awesome.
I probably need mine to pop like in 8 different places. Like I said,
because you get old, dude, and fucking, your hips start hurting and shit if you stay in one spot for a long period of time.
Yeah, my hip hurts sometimes. Yeah, especially when because I like cross my legs when I'm on, working, and I uncross them, I stand up, and I'm like, Frankie.
Yeah, you feel like you got concrete in your body, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a nice long shower later on.
Sounds good.
It's gonna be a nice
and one more piece of good news. Well, actually, I mean, you know it already, but letting everybody else know. So I'm going to Oregon for New Year's, man.
Why are you letting people know that, man? I don't want people to be stalking us up in the.
Oh, yo, because we got so many fans and shits. This is.
Yeah, it's a one of those spur of the moment. One thing leads to another, leads to fucking awesomeness. So we're having a great weekend. It's like that chain reaction shit. At first, it's like, oh well, I get a call, I'm thinking about coming out there a certain time because, Kraken might be coming out. And then we look at other things and go, oh, wait, there's a better idea. And then all of a sudden everything moves and other people start coming. And then other people find out that we're going to be there. And they're saying, you can stay here. And then we're going to have a party. And so now it's fucking New Year's, baby.
Yeah.
It's going to be sweet.
Well, no, it feels good, man, because, I was kind of wondering, damn, what am I going to do this New Year's? Actually, that was a thought of mine at one point because – what the fuck was I going to do this New Year? Sluggo's not here anymore. Was I going to go hang out with Steve? Was I going to, the fuck was I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess I could have gone hang out with Chandelier. That's assuming she's not doing something already. You know what I'm saying?
Or something else, but you don't want to be dependent on that. You'd like to do something fun and not just sit around and because you do that every year. I mean, it's fun when you have people at your house to do. It's like a fun thing to do. You get that fucking, what's your go-to, the $5 fucking Little Caesar.
Pizza?
Yeah, Little Caesar, $5 or chicken from Albertsons is a big one of the big one that did all the time.
Oh yeah, that was another one that I used to remember that I did
a couple times, yeah.
Chicken.
And then you have your little party there, and some people
we get beer and just fucking party down and
hang out and just and then do like about 12, 1:30 you'd be asleep. But this year, you didn't have many people to do it with because people are bailing from Vegas and so you're going to do it with probably about 10, 15 people you'll be chilling with. So it's going to be a sweet little New Year's. It'll be fun, and it'll be at a very safe, relaxed place. And
and I've wanted to come out there for a while. Remember, you had talked to me about it, and I'm like, okay.
And you won't be lonely, which is what I want to bring up. I think this. I don't know. Do you have anything else besides this? Because this.
No, that's pretty much it, man.
So I've got a big. This is a kind of a thing about being lonely, about loneliness, and how once again I'm going to bring up the fact that when you get used to yourself and are comfortable around yourself, you aren't really that lonely.
This is the shit I used to tell Jerkman all the time.
Yeah, you aren't really that lonely, and I want to bring this up because first of all, for that, I mean, like there are certain nights, like I think that it's nice to be around other people, and I think holidays are, and I think there's two things here I want to say. That there's nothing wrong with feeling lonely sometimes. Everyone's going to do it. It's you want companions. Like if it was Thanksgiving night and I wasn't going over there, I'd be because of working the next day or whatever reason, I'd be like, oh, it's the Thanksgiving. Hey, I'm sitting. Yeah, there's a bottle of wine waiting for me at the store. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So I might be like, fuck it, because you don't.
Sometimes you do the family thing, then you go home. You're like, I can't wait to go home so I can fuck off and watch movies or something.
Yeah, or you do. Yeah, but that's the thing. But you get it out of the way and you do it. So in other words, you are there and you kind of get your fill, but you will feel content because you did. Like if you didn't go anywhere on Thanksgiving, do you think you'd be like, yeah? You might be like, I don't know, man. It kind of feels weird. I should be at my mom's, or I should be having fucking food with my family. At least a little bit of something going on.
Well, and some of that's societal shit too. Actually, it's kind of funny.
It is, but it's not even necessarily that. Like Saturday night, like some nights, like Saturday, it's like hey, Saturday. I'm kind of sitting around and I want to do something. I want to be around people. So there's nothing wrong with being lonely.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm bringing this up is but there's also nothing wrong with like being alone and being content with it, and actually knowing that it's okay to be alone. Like this girl on Thanksgiving, she posted, "I'm so lonely. I'm alone tonight." And this
Jesus, it's the holidays and I don't have anyone.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like first of all, sharing that is, well, for me, it's like, come on now. But this is the same kind of person who just cannot be alone in terms of relationships and other things.
Oh, yeah.
She, a recent one. First of all, over the last 3 years, this girl has been with like 7 different guys, right?
Damn, 3 years?
At least, yeah. Since I've known her, she's been with a bunch of different people, and she keeps doing crazy shit like moving in with them after like 3 weeks and stuff like that. Like she moved out to Arizona with an old friend, was out there, and then he screwed over because the reason she moved out there because she was with some other dude in some rental home, and she had to stay there. And he was of course it was him. He was this. And then when she got back, she met some other guy like a couple months ago, and moved in with him for a while. And he's like, when he doesn't smoke weed, he's really irritable and abusive. I'm like, okay. First of all these guys, they're so awful. Do you ever think that maybe the reason these relationships aren't working out might not necessarily be them?
Because you're jumping at it too quick.
Not only that, but maybe you're doing shit that's really fucking irritating or something similar. Like maybe it's these guys are all assholes, and you move in with them, you don't barely know them, you move in with them, you get a house, and you change your whole life because what she wants is someone to take care of her, basically.
So she gets her claws into somebody,
and then it's claws like desperation claws. I don't think it's like vindictive. I don't see that per. She's a good person in my mind. I mean, she's nice. She's a friend of mine.
Just needy as fuck.
Just needy. Sure. Just like and then someone to be with. I can't be alone. Well, after that relationship, she's like, I'm gonna be more relaxed, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm gonna be. And so she talks about this other guy she's talking to online. Oh, he's so nice. He's going to come out this weekend, and we're just going to meet and hang out and see how it goes. Well, this is the reason I'm telling you this. So she writes. This is a saga over Facebook. So she writes during that week in the first week.
Oh, so you watched it go on in front of you.
Yeah, and I talked to her too because she's part of a group that I'm in.
Okay.
And so she. So the first part of the week, it's like, oh, we've met and it's going really well. It's going really amazing. It's awesome. And then, of course, by the end of the weekend, in a relationship, right? And
oh, fuck.
Well, a week later, he's like, I found out that he was a player and he played me. He broke up. He broke up with me and said that he broke up with me because he found somebody else or something like that. And I'm like, holy fuck! Like he's dumbass. I knew it happened. Like, why do you keep doing this to yourself?
Well, this sounds like the girl that I went and saw when I was out there last time. Remember?
Yeah.
She was that way. I mean, every guy she was all of a sudden in the relationship with, and he was her best friend, and her this and her that. And her,
so good. It was me. And then it's like literally a week later, she's like, he was a player, of course. Not that you were stupid. He's a player because maybe he didn't like you, and after you let him fucking sucked his fucking balls and let him blow a load in your hair for the first night you met. He's like, I don't know. And then you're like, we were in a relationship on Facebook. You're a player.
Well, he's stupid for letting her move in like that.
No, this is a different person. That person she moved out with. She moved out and got another roommate, or he moved out. I guess he moved out and found some other place.
Oh, damn.
and so she got in the room. I mean, this is another guy she met online, and then like just started talking to, and then came and met. Like he drove out and met her like from a different town. Like he lives like 50 miles away. Hung out that weekend. They were in a relationship. Next weekend, it's like, oh, well, he just broke up with me. He's a player. And I'm like, oh my god. And she's not. She's like 15 years older than me. So.
Oh wow. Damn.
Yeah. Well, you know how that works, man. I mean, it's fucking people, man, following their own.
Get older and lonelier, huh?
Yeah. Following their own bullshit. So you know, in their own habits. But it's just crazy that
I'm running out of time. I need to meet somebody, or else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So
actually, well, that reminds me. When you finish, man, I did think it's something.
That's all I wanted to just talk about. How goddamn desperate not to be lonely people are. It's like, and that was we talk about it all the time, but that was like just an extreme case. Like, do you ever learn?
Well, yeah, they just keep falling for different people, getting into bad relationships, and then blaming.
It's like desperate not to be alone, like to be. It's like, god damn, it's crazy. This is just a perfect example of that. Just another. I knew it was going to happen. I'm like, I'm just going to wait until it falls apart. And I didn't think it would be that quick. I thought it'd be more. Maybe she'd like ditch whatever she was doing now and move in with him again. You know, like and then have to worry about scrambling because she had to scramble and like drive her shit back from Arizona when she moved out there. She had no way of getting back.
Damn. So she moved all the way out to Arizona to be with that dude.
That was a couple years. That was a couple of back. That was 2 or 3 back.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
So go ahead. What's your thing?
Well, this is it. You know, it's the typical date site generation bullshit again. You know, which leads me to little eHarmony-ism. So, dude, I tried to break my contract. I tried to play the blind card.
Oh, you did?
Well, you know, here's what I said. I said, you know, I actually called them. And I spoke to someone and I explained. I said, look, you know, somebody suggested I get on this site. Plus, a lot of your commercials are on TV. And I thought, well, let me try it out and see how it works. But now that I get on here, I realized this is not a very conducive environment for someone who's blind. It's all pictures. I said, you know, yeah, you can read the textual part of a profile, but you're missing out on a lot of stuff being that you can't see pictures. Mm-hmm. And, you know, well, she was like, well, I'm going to email you. You know, we're pretty strict on, you know, people breaking their contract and we lock in and that type of shit. And she said, I'll send you an email that you can respond to, and then you can ask them if they'll, you know, let you waive the last payment. Mm-hmm. You know, dude, I'm thinking I only have 3 months, not 6. I thought it was 6, dude, that it gave you.
Oh.
So either way, if it's 3, that's fine. I'm ready to get out of prison here, man.
Yeah, but you're still paying the same amount for 3. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking, that's even worse, actually, because at least you were getting 6 months, you'd have double the time.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my god, double more time more time.
But did they write me back and say you can't do it?
No, they didn't. Nobody wrote back, dude. I didn't get anything written back.
Because you don't deserve to get that money back. I'll tell you what.
So, well, I'm not asking for it back, but I'm just asking for them to waive the last portion and see if I can get out of it.
Now, they might do that, but not because of the reasons that you gave. Because you Konged 2 months after you fucking did the thing. If you really were worried about the pictures and all that shit, you used the blind card 2 days after you started using it to the month of the If I were an agent, I'd be like, fuck you. No, because you're kind of giving the blind thing. Oh, I didn't know. You've been using it for 2 months. I've seen you logging in every fucking day for the last 2 months. The fuck you calling us now? You didn't know now? You're just deciding at the last month? I decided that my eyesight just ain't cut out for this website. Been on here for 2 months. I just figured, fuck you. I give it a college try. 2 months. So I figured.
I did. That's what it was. Yeah, man.
Well, I just figured. Finally, I realized, well, maybe this isn't right for someone who's visually impaired or blind. Now, blind people need to be treated with the same respect and intelligence that others are treated with. So when I act like a dumbass and say that after 2 months of trying to service, I just realized that it's not conducive to blind people. Goddamn, I'm really good at adaptability.
Way, I'm not, because I was on the site yesterday and I saw it said, need more time? Click here to extend. And I was like, oh, hell no. So
like, no.
That must mean that I think that I'm running it to the end of my shit.
We'll see, but I don't. They might just be wanting to put that there so you can start extending now, because they'll put that. They'll just leave that there. Like, maybe I am going 3 months.
Right.
And you call back in a month. Well, I pressed this extend option. I didn't realize because I'm visually impaired and blind.
I didn't know what that meant.
I had no idea what terms. I heard TOU and thought that it was you spelled wrong. Terms of use. Oh, it's terms of use, not you. Oh, I thought I was like click on you. Oh yeah, I love myself. I'm blind.
Terms of use, like terms the terms use are gonna use.
Terms of use.
Terms of use are gonna use.
You terms of use.
Hey.
I got one real quick story here for almost done. This is kind of an inspirational story, a little bit better. Kind of leave on a high note.
Okay.
Started off on a note, and I'm still kind of like whoa. But this is the story. This is what I found out about my other brother moved to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, how's that going, man?
Well, it's going great, and it's going fantastic. Cool. But I have a story to tell you about him going, and it's a lesson that needs to be learned. Okay.
All right.
So he's been staying at the same place for a long time, kind of vegging out, wasting away, sitting in my a room at my mom's for a long time. My dad's death really fucked him up. But that's not an excuse, just the truth.
Yeah.
But still, after a while, you gotta get your shit together and take care of your business, right? As an adult.
Yeah, you and your other brother obviously got out and they're doing your shit.
Yeah. So he has the opportunity to go to Atlanta to pursue this. He's been waiting on it for a long time. It's a great job, $80,000 a year job with commission, lots of opportunity, and so he's like, it's finally happening. And I was like, this isn't gonna happen. Over years and years, finally he gets it's going to happen. You have a place to stay. Come out to Atlanta. So he gets a flight for beginning of November. And I only hear this because I called my mom on Thanksgiving and we're talking about it.
Oh, and she briefed you on what went down.
She goes, you drove me as a nervous wreck. So what happened was they go to the airport, right? And first of all, they're trying to find the right exit, the right terminal to get on. And they miss the terminal because my brother doesn't know what terminal it is. He didn't look up the terminal before he left. He's like, oh, I don't know what it is. So they missed the terminal twice or whatever, once or twice. They find the right turnoff finally. They're running a little late, right?
Okay.
So they drop him off. Go get in there and get in line and get your ticket. So they drop him off. He goes in there and they're going, well, let's wait and make sure everything's good. So they're waiting in a spot to make sure everything's good. They're kind of in the parking area. They're waiting in a spot where there's no one else at. They didn't think anything of it. So a couple minutes later, he calls him and goes, "Oh well, the bags that I have, I didn't realize they would charge me for them. So they're $85 total. I only have $60 in my account, so I'm going to come back and we'll just go home."
Oh hell no!
So Jerry goes, "Hold on a second. I'm going to go in there," and my mom's like, "No. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to pay for this." For this thing. So Jerry, a 72-year-old fucking Jerry dog.
Yeah, your stepdad.
Yeah, he jumps out of the car and he's running and going in there because they're sitting in an area where they're not supposed to be. It's kind of like there's no timer, but there's nobody there, but they're not supposed to be sitting there.
Is that the one where the guy comes up and hassles you, or you can't park here?
Well, God, that's what I'm coming to. So Jared Dog goes in there and he's sitting in there going with their. While Jared Dog's in there, my mom's sitting there and some fucking asshole security guard. And this is a Vegas thing, a fucking city thing. I don't think this would happen here, or they'd be more. He goes, "You need to leave, ma'am." He's like, "Man, my husband." He says he's in there. He's trying to pay for something. He'll be back. She kind of threw the oldster card out there. He's in his 70s, so he'll be back in a second. And he's like, "Ma'am, if you don't move in 3 minutes, we're gonna fine you, and it's a $300 fine."
Oh Jesus!
So my mom's tripping out. My mom, mom is not the most steely nerved person in the world already, as you can probably guess.
Right? She can be set off. Yeah.
Oh, and she's like, she's like, oh no. So she's like, oh God. So she pulls up and she's like, oh, you know what? After a while, she's like, a couple minutes. She's like a minute. She's like, I gotta move. She's like, fuck it. So she goes and pulls in between two cop cars in the same area. He's like, screw it. I'm just gonna wait right here. If they find me, they find me. I'm not gonna worry about it. So meanwhile, Jared Dog's in there. He goes up. He pays for the luggage, right? He goes in there and pays for it himself to get it taken care of because he doesn't have money on his account. And I don't know where what's going on with his money, but regardless, he should have had money basically to cover this shit. But so they're up there, and the lady goes, "Well, if you don't hurry, you're gonna miss your flight." And what does D fucking do? He goes, "Well, why don't we just refund the money and we'll go home." Well,
oh God! Now so he's ready to just give it up, right?
Yeah.
There.
Now here's the awesome heroics of the fucking former fucking Marine tunnel rat motherfucker. Jerry goes, "No, you run your goddamn ass down that hall and get on that fucking plane right now." And he just like points. He goes, "You are gonna go. You get on that goddamn plane now. No, we're not turning around. You are going," because he's been there for so long and Jared Dog's like, get the fuck out of my house, you know, because you're
Oh, I understand.
yeah. And so he's like, no, get the fuck out of here and go. So D-fucka has been so sheltered and so like stuck in his pattern and so like curled up in himself for so long that he's scared of stuff. So he does get on the plane. They get back there. Everything's fine, you know. He gets on the plane and he makes it out there, and now he's going to be making $80,000 a year, and he's really doing well. And they've got like 2,000 units he's going to sell. He's going to be the manager for like all of California and Nevada for these they're like Home Depot things, whatever. It's like these trailers that he's been working on.
Okay.
But just think about that. He was so like, I just want to be in my little shell, my little room, in my little protective space.
Like if Jared Dog had not gone there with him, if he had just gone alone, like in a cab or Uber or something.
Yeah, he would have gone back and he would have ended up at my mom's door, and they would have been like, "Oh my God, you're back here!" And then, you know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking hard to laugh.
It's just funny as shit, dude. Because
it is.
Like here it is. He's ready to pass up $80,000 plus commission a year because he doesn't have the money to check his bags through.
Yeah, and it's like a give up. And then oh well, I might be late for the plane, so I shouldn't even try to catch the plane. You know, like, and he did get on, so he did make it and got there, and everything's working on that. But that's just like a lesson learned, man. I think that's a great way to end the show. Is that?
And here your mom's out there getting hassled by the goddamn security guard.
And so the whole story was just, we were laughing. I was laughing my ass off. My bro and I, you know, Scotty and I were just like laughing. It's like, oh my God, but it's just so like, dude, and it's just so indicative of just a theme of life. You got to reach out sometimes. You got to jump across that chasm. Sometimes you're scared to do it, but you got to fucking do it. And if you don't, you're going to be stuck in the same place because you're so used to your same bad habits.
Yeah, so. And it's easy to do. It's easier just to not move forward and just kind of stagnate and, well, you know.
So so we're not going to stagnate and we're going to keep moving forward. But I just wanted to end on that note. So
that was a nice story, man. I dig that story.
Yeah, end on that note and just think about it. Food for thought for anybody out there who's all wants to be safe, and it happens to me all the time, even with improv. Some nights I'm like, I just want to stay here and play Dungeons and Dragons and play fucking the land of Flugadoog. No, get out of the fucking land of Flugadoog.
Out there, man.
Get yourself out there. Go to your Toastmasters. Go out and do your shit. Do your shit. And this has been the Nothing Sacred Show for the 26th of November 2016. This is dedicated to Mag Dog. Sorry I'm going to do that, but you know what? Keep moving forward, and we're going to support each other. But anyways, I am Cruise Control.
I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And that's the positive ending that almost didn't happen.
Yeah, bitches. Not that story there, fuckers.
Oh, one more time. And that's the story there, bitches.
Yeah.
Nothing sacred, bitches. Go fuck yourselves.